I think there are a lot of stories of people who their primary coping skills involved people, involved activities outside, involved things that got taken away because of quarantine, because of COVID, because of the way that our life has changed. I am definitely one of them. I'm somebody who's extroverted, and most of my coping skills, up until being told I couldn't leave my house in March 2020, were involving people. My job involves people, right? I like people, being around people, talking to people. So whenever I feel stressed, I like to do things around others. And all of that stopped when we were told we can't be around others, or a lot of restaurants closed, or other activities closed. And so when that happens, or if, say, you have a disorder like depression and you don't feel like talking to people or being around people, or you are experiencing symptoms of long haul COVID where you can't taste, you can't smell, so you don't want to go to restaurants now that you could, or you used to like exercising and you can't anymore because it makes you dizzy or it makes you short of breath. All of those things really changing how you live your life. You have to think, okay, so what can I do now to cope? And I think we think about coping too much like, this is a prescription, this is the way that I have to cope, this is the trendy way to cope, everybody copes this way. And we talk about that a lot with things like mindfulness because there's a lot of evidence that it works. But if you try it and you hate it, it's okay that you hate it. I sort of think of coping more like a hobby. So you want to try out different things, you want to see what you like, you want to write down which ones you like, you want to realize that the things you use might not work in every scenario at every time, but there are different things you can use for different ways. And I think it's just important to try out things. So if you're not a person where exercise is now limiting, of course, there are various forms of exercise that people enjoy for relaxing. If you're a person where, more the individual reflection and coping that way helps, things like journaling can be helpful. Things like deep breathing can be helpful. Things like mindfulness can be helpful. If you're a person who doesn't like any of those things, there are things like television and music and movies and these books and, other ways that you can sort of decompress, and those are coping skills for you. And I think it's important that we really reflect on what we enjoy and incorporate that into our life instead of just sort of prescribing something and doing what everyone tells us to do.